All right. So the front end now again the same. So the if you have like a large customer base, of course, it's in production, then you will have to have many computers to um, uh, the serve your the traffic. It means the tens of thousand people is typing www.facebook.com or the million of people. So you need to have a lots of computers. Lots of computer does the same thing. It is called the clustering. Okay, it is called the clustering. So in this case, you just know it just is scaling. But for us, are you going to use the same server to deploy the front end or the different server?
We are using the same server.
Yeah. So in the same server, so we are going to do the same thing. We'll up and then we will go create a folder and then we will do the git clone. In this git clone, we don't need to do anything else. We are just git clone and you will see the things are happening. All the giving access, token creation, public, private, we don't need any of this. Am I right? I don't think so.
Yes, yes.
Right. Okay, so let's do that. And all are separate things out. The front end directory different, back end directory different. So you are organizing your work. In Linux operating system, we do not call the folder. In Linux operating system, everything is on the file. The folder itself called the file. File itself called the file. Because in Linux, that's how it is. It is structure of the architecture for Linux, the Linux-based any distribution. Okay, let's go.
Okay, now I'll just copy the terminal as the backend is running. So while we'll run the front end, backend should be running. So I'm not stopping it again. So I'm just cloning the terminal.
Yep. So basically, so you see that this is allowing you, that's the good thing of the server-based operating system. A server-based operating system allows you to actually multiple people log in, multiples. Okay. If this server can have enough resources, 100 people can join. Okay, you can create 100 ID, 100 people can join, they can use. So in this case, we just duplicate the session. We can stop the backend, no problem. But we just created the terminal, and now we are going to start working on the front end.
Yes. So for that, first we need to install or download the file or the folder in our server. So for that, I will go back to my GitHub account as the already this server key, that means SSH key, is already stored in my GitHub account. So as he said, we don't need any SSH session, or we don't need to add any key further. So here is my front-end server location in the Git repository, which is ecom2. And from here, I'll just clone the SSH link. And now I'm going back to my terminal again. And here, if I write git clone space and then the link, it will clone it successfully. Now, if I do ls, that means if I list down the directories, here now you can see two folder or two directories. One of them is ecom2 and another one is ecom2 back. That means we have configured the backend already. So now I'll go to the ecom2 folder. So let's go here, cd. CD means change directory. This command is used for changing directories. And ecom2, now I'll hit enter. Now I'll see that what is inside this folder. So for that, the command is ls-la. It will show me all the files and folders, the hidden one also. So now if I hit enter, it is showing the list of the folder and directories and files. So you can see there is a file called .env. This is the configuration file where the backend application IP is stored. Now I have to go inside this file. So for that, again, I'm using the Vim editor. So vim.env. Here we can see that this one is commented, so this will not work. So second one, from the second one, it is working. So it is next public API URL. That means where the API, frontend API will hit in the backend, it is the URL of that thing. So here you can see there is already a existing IP address. So this is not for us. It is already when it is deployed, the server IP is stored here and it is uploaded in the GitHub. So that is what it is. Now we have to change this one because we are not using this IP address server. We are using ours. So we have to give the public IP address of our backend application. So for that, first I need to go to the insert mode, and I have just pressed the I off on my keyboard, and now I will erase this one.
So you are just typing, inserting the EC2 public IP address, which is like on your tab. It's 54 dot. Yeah, you will go and get that IP address, create the copy. So it is 59.90.55.100.
Okay, this is my server IP in which server backend is deployed, and the port is 5000. So I'm not changing it because you can see we already saw it that our port is 5000 where backend is running. So it is 5000. That's why I'm not changing it. Now we have to save this file. For that, first I need to go back from the insert mode, and that for that we need to press escape from our keyboard, and then :WQ for saving it.
Writing and quit,
Yes.
and save and quit. So what we did, we actually did the front end git clone, and then actually we went to the front end. Remember, this time we did not do the npm. We haven't done yet. Now we are going to we done the environment. Now we are doing the npm install. What does it do? So when
Okay,
the
now it
npm install, yes, go ahead.
okay, now it will install the npm dependencies, as the npm and other things already are installed in this server. So we don't need to repeat it because it is already in the environment, but we need to install the dependencies. That's why I am writing npm install hyphen hyphen then force.
So this is the one for the front end. Remember, now we are configuring. So be very precise now and specific. The previous one was the backend, and you are exactly in the front end directory. Okay, so keep remembering. If you just go another folder and trying to do this action, it will not work. So it is exactly doing on the npm package installing on the front end code base. Code base came itself, not your package. Package need to be installed. So that's what we have done.
Okay, now it is done. And now we have to run or build the next application. So it is, as he said, that it is using Next. So we need to do npm run build for building the application.
So there is a many the library or the package for the front end. So React.js has been developed by the Facebook, and they have been using it. Millions of developer or millions of application are using for the front end. The web-based application, they are using the React.js, but React.js has its own the pros and cons. But the Next.js, which is based on the React.js, has been using, and we are using it in our application, in our entire things you see on our front end, Agent ALM, Schools Hub, TS for you. It's all about the React.js and the Next.js, right? Next.js, so it is like the user friendly. It is loading faster. But one important thing I heard from the developer is the SEO friendly. Okay, so we are using the Next.js front end based library. I cannot call it as a framework. So because the front end of the e-commerce is the Next.js, so she has to, what is she doing? She has to actually build now, npm run build. So it is actually doing that now. And any type of error you see it, guess what? If you are not able to identify anything else, you need to set up a meeting with the developer and create a documentation, create the issues, what you see, and you should be able to explain step by step. That's the reason, as a DevOps engineer or anywhere else, you need to be able to create your own documentation and precisely explain. Do not ever sometimes tell somebody, I have the issues, I need issue get resolved. We do not take those like the process or the approach in the workplace. Always create your own documentation, have the proper explanation, and then you actually set up a meeting and then go over your issues. Review your issues and you solve it. Remember the way you do the bootcamp, we do the same way. Nothing is changing. All right, so this part is done. What else now?
Okay, now we can see here that our build is successful. The message is showing like creating an optimized production build. And the next information is compiled successfully. So it is compiled successfully. And now we have to start this npm, this application. So for that, we'll use npm start command. So it will run the application. Now you can see the message like next start, and it is running on 4000 port. So we have to reach the server IP, public IP address in 4000 port. So I'll go back to my browser again and I'll copy my address. And you can remember that my backend is also running in another tab. So
Yes,
currently my frontend and backend both are running.
they're connected. If your backend is not running, the front end will not. Front end, you will see the interface, but you click it, it is not going to work. Okay, so make sure you know that. So the 4000, you just cannot change any port number. It has to be changed by the backend or the developer. Okay, if you just try to change the port number when you deploy, it is not going to work. Now the question is, for the DevOps engineer, well, this 4000, I have another application. In this instance, you have to talk to the developer, backend engineer, and you have to tell him, can you put the 4001? It's good. You have to have a free port number that are not used in your environment by any other application. If they use it, you will receive a message, conflict, 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 because someone is using in the same network this 4000. So that's your troubleshooting and your approach you need to follow. So port number has to be unique for each application, because you can run tens of Node.js based frontend and backend, so 20. Can this 20 application use the 4000? No. Can the 20 backend hold the 5000? No, it will conflict. Application will not work. So each of the application, means each of the code base, the backend or the front end, they have to have their separated port number. Hey, port number is free. You don't need to pay for it. Okay, as long as it is not conflicting, you are good. All right. So now your front end is good. So you see this, we got the application now. Let's do something here. So
So
now
you can
at this moment, the things are calmed down. Now it can be shipped to the front end development, the QA team. So now you can say, well, this is already the build application. Yeah, application can be built. This application is built this up to this standard, but this application needs hundreds of, like maybe 1,000 requirements to left. Means more and more requirements, mean more and more functionality need to be added, the bug need to be fixed, a lot of work to be done. But that's exactly the work. It means after the next sprint, the backend developer will be adding the logic, the new user story, new endpoint, and the front end developer will be actually the adding to the front end. In the meantime, QA need to test in the front end and the back end separately, also need to test integration perspective. And DevOps engineer need to deploy the same thing. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we can see now, we can see the images, we can see the UI. UI means user interface. So our front end is running. We can see because we can see the UI and we can see all the images, all the data. If I click on here, it is moving and it is showing the images. That means it is connected to your backend successfully and it is coming back to the data to the front end. So we can see it successfully. So our backend and front end, both of them are now deployed in the server successfully.
It depends on the connection. So let's
Yeah.
click something. Let's go click something. Let's show you the another magic. Click a mobile phone. Yeah, click something. Going to, okay, you see it, right? Good. So you see now it is coming, it is working. You see this. Go back and they stop your backend. So pay very close attention. This is the interview question, okay? Did you close it? Good.
Yes.
Now go back to the front end again. Go click something else. Click anything. Did you see that? It's gone. Even the your all the beautification graphics interface is there because the backend is down. Now user means the client cannot send any data. Any data means they cannot retrieve the data, means coming from the database through the backend. Or client cannot send any data, means sign up, sign in, add a product to the cart, means they are actually requesting something, they cannot go because backend is down. The backend is the media, when the middleman, the main logical part is down, the front end and database cannot do anything else. Even the database is running, front end is running, because of the backend, the work is not happening. Means you cannot, and the logical part cannot be evaluated, data cannot be patched from the backend, database, because backend is down, data cannot be sent, request cannot be made from the front end, means the website or the mobile app, because the middle interface, which the backend tier, is down. So when the backend is down, database doesn't know anything else. Database has no connection with the front end. Database absolutely knows nothing about the front end. It just connect with the backend directly in this e-commerce application. So go back and open it again, turn it again.
Okay, and we can see that there now there is no picture left.
See this? So that's the you will be seeing, and the behavior is like this. So as a DevOps engineer, go back to the backend now. So see why the backend is stopped. Oh, memory is late. Oh, memory is full. Oh, the log is full. Oh, no, the recently some changes happen. Operating system is restarted. Many things can happen. But as a DevOps engineer, that's your role to actually go through the entire process again. So it is working again because the backend is up and running. So that's the front and backend deployment is done on the bare metal server, means the like the server, means there is no other special software installed here. But another way, like the final part, another way you can see if the backend is running or not. You can actually do the investigation, right? Whatever it's called, inspection, right? Do you know how to do that?
Inspection, yes.
So another way, as an entire team, means the backend, QA, develop the front end, they have to know the inspection part on the browser, which is very important during the development. So can you show in the inspection part? Yep. So right click on it, go to the inspection. Okay, I think it's better to, yeah, go network. And then you can shut down your backend again, and you click anywhere, you will see you'll not be able to reach out. Control C, and you try to click again, and you will see nothing will happen. So click it there, pending, instead of pending, status pending, you see this? Yep, click anything. Yep, so you have to be able to read. It means it is down, it is not, no way it is able to. Click the payload. Nothing. Nothing is happening because your backend is down. So front end is not able to reach out to the backend. That's the reason things are not working. Anything you click is not going to work. So that's also part of your core, how to actually debug and the troubleshoot from the like the front end perspective from the browser, because you have to go through the each of the sector. This is your job. When you get a ticket to solve something, this you have to do it. You just do not, this kind of things is not like the writing the code, building the logic. This type of things is your the job to do step by step to identify the issues, because that's the reason we are engineer. We are debugging, troubleshooting, identifying, engaging the right people to do our work collaboratively and collectively to actually to support our business, means who actually the supporting our end clients. That's the way we get the money, means the business sell the product or the service. Anything else?
No. This part is complete, the bare metal one. Now we'll move